The funded trader has been growing massively and has had so many amazing improvements recently, such as having over $10 million in trader payouts. They've also added an instant funding option and a new dashboard. I'm going to be touching on all that in this video, along with interviewing Matt, who is the Chief Operating Officer with the funded trader. Here he is.
Hey, Blake, thanks for having me here. I cannot be more excited. My name is Matthew Racz. I am the Chief Operating Officer at the Funded Trader. And that means I've got my hands in a lot of different things within the company. But ultimately, I was brought on 6 months ago to help scale the organization. You know, we're growing like wildfire. We've basically 5x'd our team size since I've been here. We'll touch on some of the numbers and data that we've done as well and all the progress we've made. But I'm really here to help us operationalize the organization, bring on more team members, systematize things, and ultimately create the outcomes we're looking to create for our traders, right? I mean, ultimately giving them a better experience, both within our technology, with our support. So I'm really kind of involved in a lot of different areas within the organization.
And one of those is definitely with the Funded Trader highlighting trader performance. That's actually a huge part of the company. It's something we're really proud of. And since you're more of a data person than myself, what are the current payouts and numbers looking like within the Funded Trader?
So this is something that's honestly, it kind of blows my mind because when I joined the Funded Trader, again, I'm almost at my 6-month anniversary. It'll be this weekend. When I joined, we were at a few million in payouts. And this is the number one metric, right? So for everyone watching, you guys, this is the number one metric we care about at the Funded Trader. How, you know, what's our progress with payouts? Are we scaling it? And we just hit 10 million. In fact, we just hit over $11.5 million in payouts this past week. And we've only been around since, mid last year. So a little over a year ago, it's when we started. So it's been pretty insane growth. And in fact, in one of the community updates, Blake, that we did, I think 2 months ago, it was either last month or the month before, we actually had a slide on that community update, and we actually showed what our payouts growth was from all of last year, the first quarter of this year, the second quarter of this year, and that month. And it was insane. It was like, this much for all of 2021, this much for the next quarter, this much for the next quarter. And then like in that 1 month, it was like a 3x multiple. Right. So we're really hitting an inflection point here at the Funded Trader. More people are becoming aware of who we are. More people are sharing. And it's because people love the Funded Trader, right? We've got some of the best metrics and programs out there. They're very trader friendly. And that's something we really care about from a culture standpoint. So I'm looking forward to the day, Blake, that we hit 10 million a month in one single month. But we got some work to get there. But yeah, the data is definitely showing us that by the end of this year, that number 10 million, it's going to be a multiple for sure.
I'd love to hear that. And I want to dive into some other new things that are coming to the Funded Trader, in particular, Trade Hub and Instant Funding. Let's go ahead and take a look at the new trading hub that's coming with the Funded Trader.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do it. All right. So Blake, this is the new hub that we're going to be launching here in a few weeks. We've been working on this pretty aggressively. And I think Angelo shared a few times, but we originally scoped this out with our developers. We've been working on it, and it came back, and it was where we needed to be technologically speaking. Like what's under the hood here, guys, is insanely powerful. It's very scalable, and there's a lot of logic behind what's going on underneath the hood of this technology. But then we took some extra time to reskin it and make it really beautiful, and that's what we're working on right now, and essentially doing some final stages of QC on. But Blake, do you want me to kind of navigate around here and share a little bit more about the dashboard?
Sure. And I was about to say, it looks so great. It looks so much better than the old dashboard. I think this is a huge direct improvement. Really looking forward to this new dashboard.
Yeah, design, I'll be honest, Angelo, our CEO, is definitely on a tear right now. He is just working his tail off to make sure that we're upgrading and elevating our brand. And this is something we're really passionate on. And it's obviously really fun too, right? It's something you can tangibly see and everyone gets to interact with. So a big part of this, guys, is that you feel excited using our technology and you feel proud of using our technology. So I, for one, am very excited and proud of what we're going to be releasing here. But what you'll notice is when you land in the new hub, the new dashboard, you're going to be able to see the different challenge types here, and you can actually click through and read through all the different pieces of each program, and then you can actually start the challenge. And clicking through, let's just say we want to do the standard challenge for now. It'll navigate you over to the purchase page, and it'll allow you to select the account size, what platform and broker you guys want to use, what account type. And this is just a really seamless purchasing process that we're pretty excited about. So we're really bringing the front end of our website, the dashboard views of everything, and the back end, and we're integrating the two. So you're not going to have like different logins and things like that all be in one system. So this has been a big, upgrade for us, more technological, if you will, but we're really excited about this piece here. You scroll down, you can enter discount codes, your billing information, agree to the terms of service and our dispute policy, proceed to payment, and boom, you're ready to rock and roll in terms of trading.
Great. And I know that we probably can't show it just yet, but I know that the dashboard is also looking absolutely amazing thus far. I don't think it's quite ready to go yet. I've been working on that a little bit as well with the whole team, getting everything designed, just a little tweak to make it as perfect as possible. But I love how seamless this is with being able to access so many different things, even be able to have the MetaTrader, the leaderboard, competitions, announcement, everything all in one place. I think this is going to be a huge upgrade for the fund trader.
Yeah, we've really it's cool. The design process is a lot of fun. Being involved in the fund trader, it's such a fast moving organization. I love that because you never get bored. The challenge is that you're never bored. So it's just very fast paced. But we looked at a lot of different, prop firms out there. We started auditing what we liked, what we didn't like, how we think we could do things better. And we basically did the best of everything is what our intention is. And so I think a lot of people are going to be pretty excited coming in here because I think it's going to be somewhat familiar to, it's going to feel familiar in a sense, but I think people are going to really feel like, whoa, this is definitely taking it to the next level in different areas of the dashboard. So we're excited for people to dive in, get their hands dirty, if you will, and start using it. I think it's just going to create a much more seamless experience for our traders and just more enjoyable experience. And those are two of the big outcomes we were trying to drive with this big technology release that'll be coming out here in a few weeks.
With all those new features with the hub, what is your favorite aspect of the hub?
It's hard to say just one, but I think it has to be the fact that everything's integrated, right? Everything is in one place. It's a huge upgrade for us here at the Fund Trader. We've really listened to our community even about that. Guys, we get tons of feedback in our Discord about, where we can optimize our technology. And we'll touch on some other things we're doing that we're learning directly from our community. But this has probably been the number one request we've received. And so I'm very excited to be releasing this. And of course, how modern and beautifully designed it is, right? I mean, I kind of touched on it, but it's like, we want people, it's like Steve Jobs used to say, right? He wanted people to feel really amazing touching and interacting with his computers, right? And there's something about the design of things that we need to optimize. And when we look at, the funded trader, this is something we've been doing evolutionary over time. The first version of even the front end website of the funded trader, right? It was very basic, et cetera, right? We had to get it out there. And it was, just kind of a public launch of who we were, but we really needed to take some time and elevate the brand. And we've done that on the corporate website itself. We're now doing it at a very high degree, high fidelity for our actual Traders Hub. And so those two things combined, everything in one place and having it be beautifully designed and people actually feel good and excited using it. I mean, I think it's better than any other dashboard technology in the space. And I can't wait for our traders to get in it and to share their thoughts with us as well.
I also love how much the fund trader listens to the community, especially with the inspiration for the new logo and all the website changes. It's all very exciting stuff. And I also think one of the other most anticipated features that's coming out very soon is the instant funding. Can you talk first about what instant funding is, just for the people that don't know?
Yeah, of course. So instant funding, as the name suggests, it basically gives people the ability to trade immediately, which is really exciting. So you purchase the instant funding program, and then you can start trading that capital. And so really, it gives people the ability to grow the capital to a huge amount if you continue to be successful. And while you're paying a little bit more upfront with maybe less capital than maybe a standard, 2 evaluation phase program, if you're consistent, you're successful, et cetera, you can essentially start trading more capital than you would underneath just a standard 2-phase program. So it's just an extra really cool program for those people who are interested. It's something that we've had a lot of people request us to create through our community. So for everyone that's watching, you've been, sharing that feedback with us in Discord. We're definitely listening, and it's something we're really pumped about. It should be released in next 2 to 3 months. Blake, yeah.
Wow. So with ours is coming out in the next 2, 3 months. There's already been a lot of instant funding companies out there. And what we've seen from some of them, some big critiques that I've heard is number one about the leverage. I've heard the leverage is way lower than what most people want to see. And also that when you pay for it, a lot of times you'll actually get less in maximum drawdown from the instant funded account than what you actually paid. So you actually get less of a deal. And some people think that it's actually worse to go with one of these instant funding companies in comparison to a high leverage funded account. What do you have to say about that and about our program?
It's a good point, right? I mean, I think a lot of people have expressed, frustrations with instant funding programs out there, right? And it's for all the reasons you just shared. That's certainly true. And when we started scoping our instant funding program, our number one objective was to make this the most competitive program out there in the space, right? So we're going to have the highest leverage in the space. We're going to provide the strongest ratio of how much you guys are getting funded instantly compared to how much you're actually paying for it. So, ultimately, anyone who's going to be joining, the Funded Traders Instant Funding Program, I think you're going to see that this is going to be a really exciting opportunity for you guys to get involved in something and to migrate to a firm who, again, is just very trader centric. We really care about, you guys having programs that are competitive, that make sense, that put you in a successful position. So for us, I think that when this releases, I think we're going to see a lot of people become very excited, and we're going to see a lot of people sharing with other people who've been probably frustrated for a lot of the reasons that you shared, Blake. I mean, we've got other firms in this space, who have launched these kinds of programs, the 5%ers, Audacity, CTI, right? And then my Forex funds came out and they were basically, roughly break even. And we're just blowing way past that. I mean, we're going to be providing a much more competitive offering, both in terms of like the leverage you're talking about, but also in terms of the price. So again, guys, the next couple of months, you'll have this product available, and we're excited for people to sign up and start trading it. I think people are going to be really pumped about it.
That's so exciting to see. I think this will be a main choice for traders going forward. And we've been talking a lot about the Fund Trader. Can we learn a little bit more about Matt? Can you touch on your psychology background and your performance coaching and how that's really integrated with trading?
Yeah. So, in my 20s, early 20s, I started another software company. And it was actually in the financial space as well. So I just can't break free of the financial companies. But, develop myself as a leader of a tech company was one of the greatest privileges I've ever had in my life. It was one of the most challenging things I've ever experienced in my life. Lots of lows, a lot of highs, but a lot of lows. Basically working 24/7. I didn't have time for a relationship, right? My relationship was my business, and I was working 24/7. I was basically burning out all the time. I became very depressed. And so this path towards building a company and really being committed. I mean, we raised millions of dollars in investment. And that's not to impress anyone. It's just to speak to the magnitude of how much pressure we were under. We had a legitimate board. We had advisors. I mean, it was really serious, and we had 30, 40 employees. It was just really exciting times. But again, a lot of the pressure. So what that path allowed me to do is to take my own psychology, my own mindset, my own health into my own hands. It basically got to the point where I was like, I can't keep living like this. I need to figure out how to actually like level up myself and develop self-mastery, self-excellence. And I think that for everyone watching, this is relevant, regardless of what you do, whether you're, a full-time trader or part-time trader, you're not even trading yet. You're just interested in learning more about this. Leveling up yourself and investing in yourself is the most important thing you can do. If you think that you can succeed as a trader, and really as a human being, but let's just speak to, the trading space. If you think you can succeed while being, grotesquely tired, right? Like not actually giving a crap about, what you're eating, the kind of sleep you're getting, what kind of thoughts you're feeding yourself, having horrific habits, not really having any goals or direction in life. Like if you're just doing this for hopefully just making money and you don't have any like bigger overarching goals, those are the things that are going to hold you back. The technical skills are obviously really critical, just like being a COO of a company is really critical. There's certain skills you need to know. But when you play the game day in, day out, you're like an athlete, right? Like you need to learn how to go deep on and perform, and you need to learn how to seriously recover, right? Like, take time off, do self-care, not be on your phone all day and feeding yourself with more garbage. I think that it's really critical that every single human in the world really starts looking at their own habits, their own performance, their own psychology, because all those things create your reality. And that's what I do, and I have done over the last couple of years. I've done a lot of psychology, mindset, performance training with, founders of companies, especially high tech, high growth companies, and entrepreneurs, with athletes. You name it. And it's been a really fun experience for me. And I bring a lot of that into the funded trader. I love diving into the psychology and mindset and performance side of things, Blake. So I don't know if you feel like there's anything you want me to kind of dive into deeper. I don't want to go on a rant here because I get very passionate. But that's kind of an overview of my, psychology and, mindset performance training.
I think that's really awesome. I think that if you could just give one more example of something, a big takeaway that traders can use from this interview to advance their trading skills, and it would make them a better trader.
There's, if I had to think of one, God, I was going to say like discipline, but it's just a very basic and general response. And I have to say, like, get disciplined. So that is maybe number 2 is get disciplined and show up, like have integrity. If you say you're going to do something, do it. But I would say probably the number one thing that I would share with traders to increase your success is to become hyper aware of who you are when you're at your best, when you're performing your best in life. And you can, think about it in your relationships, think about it in your health, think about it in your career, think about it in trading. What are you doing when you're the most on? And maybe it's been some time, right? Maybe you've been in a rut for a little bit, and that's fine. Think back, really dig deep into the history of you, and think about when was the time that you were just crushing it? And what were you doing? Define those things, write them down, and realize that that is who you are capable of being at all times. And in fact, you need to be more of that at all times. Because if you want to be seriously successful, there is not a single person in the world who's successful who is not consistently pushing to become the best version of themselves. And that they're not just doing it for fame and for money and for the cars, et cetera. They're doing it for themselves, for their family, for people, for service. So connecting with something. So know who you are when you're on. And then equally important, it's integrated, is know who you are when you're completely off. When you're messing up, when you're not doing well, you already know. And in fact, it might be easier because our brains are already programmed biologically to go towards the negative, right? It might be easier for people to actually determine who are you when maybe you're at your worst. What are your negative habits? What are you doing that's clearly not working? And you're showing up and you're trying to trade with that mentality, with that frame of reference, with that energy. And you need to start eradicating that stuff. In fact, it's going to be easier for you to cut the cord with all the things that are holding you down, all of your kryptonites, than it is to start adding new things. Easier to cut away than to add new things. So really look at those two things and get real with yourself and hold yourself accountable to actually wanting to be successful and feeling worthy of being successful. Because a lot of people want to be, and they're like, hey, I have this goal, but they don't feel worthy. They don't have the confidence that they can do it. And so they just keep, you might make a couple steps forward and then you get to like, you're starting to feel good, but a lot of people fall off the horse, right? You take a few steps forward and you just fall off. And then you're like, shoot, I need to start all over again. But it kind of hurts when you fall off, right? You kind of get bruised, and it might be a little bit painful to start, realizing, hey, I need to start doing the right things again. So I know this is a little bit abstract, in terms of a concept, but it's very powerful to understand who you are at your worst, who you are at your best, and to close the gap and start to show up. So it's a good exercise for people to do. like take out a piece of paper and write it down. Like if you're not doing these kinds of things, I highly encourage everyone watching to do it, because this is where massive personal power is unlocked. You need to start working on yourself. You need to start coaching yourself. And I think for traders, specifically, you need to start understanding, are you following your protocols, right? Like, do you have protocols, and are you actually following them? Do you have a journal, right? Like, are you being, and that's what I mean by discipline. Are you being disciplined in what you should be doing, or are you just making mistakes? Are you making excuses, right? And kind of letting yourself off easy. So again, a long answer, but I really want people to understand here how significant this one hack is, because it can literally, by getting very clear on who you are at your best, you start aligning towards it and you start creating that every single day. So that would be my number one piece of feedback for any trader who whether you're the best trader in the world, you're just starting out, or you've never started, everyone could be doing this every single day.
Wow, that was so deep. I'm sure that's going to speak to so many people. I'm sure that's worth clipping alone. That's amazing. Thank you so much for the insight on that. My recent YouTube video touched on Propfirm's adding TradingView. What is the current state of platforms and choices with the Fund Trader, and is the Fund Trader going to be adding TradingView?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we know that the short answer is yes, right? We're going to be adding TradingView as an integration as one of our platform choices, right? And it's because we know that most traders are using TradingView, right? And we know that typically, right, what's the pain? Why are we doing this? Most people are using TradingView to mark up their charts before actually placing the trades. And we ultimately want to make that process a lot easier, right? More seamless. And so they're marking them up on a computer or a laptop on TradingView, and then they're going to go ahead and they're going to open up their phone, and then they're going to actually place the trades on their phone. And we all know there's going to be a high likelihood of human error. You're going to not copy over the right stuff. It's a pain to do it. And so ultimately, you're just going back and forth with two different things. We are going to be keeping MT4, MT5. So just want to highlight for everyone in case you're curious about that. We're definitely keeping it MT4, MT5, and then we'll be adding TradingView as one of the platforms.
We've touched on so much during this interview, but what other changes have happened with the Fund Trader, and what else is coming soon?
Yeah, so a lot of cool things have happened in the last quarter, last couple of months here. If you've been following along with the Funded Trader, I think you're clearly aware that we released swing accounts. So we're really excited about that as well. And ultimately, what does that do? It just basically swing offers, a swing or a regular account on each of our challenges. And the swing has less leverage, but with the swing, you can hold over the weekend. You can hold trades over the weekend. So ultimately, we separated the two, into a swing and regular for each of our challenges. And the reason is basically to just disincentivize gambling through trading over the weekend. So that's essentially why we did it. So that was a big release we did. We're really excited. It took a lot of effort from our technology team, from our trader success team, from our marketing team. Pretty much the entire organization was involved in that release. We also just pushed out last week. She doesn't like when I do this, but I'm gonna give her a shout out anyway, because hopefully she's watching this video. But Victoria, she is our head of trader success, just really went over and beyond what we were asking her to do, and put together an amazing new resolution bot for our traders. So basically, when you go on our website and you need some help from our team, historically, you would just reach out directly to our trader success team, and you would just ask questions, right? And ultimately what that does is a lot of people would reach out and ask very general questions, like very simple questions that are answered in our knowledge center, in our et cetera, right? Or on our website. And what that does is it takes time away from, supporting people who have like really urgent, higher impact requests. So we now have more of an automated process where people can get answers to questions very quickly. But they absolutely always have the opportunity to still talk directly to our trader success team. So we still have the same hours. We're a 24/7 trader success team. We take it, that's probably the most serious thing we take here. I mean, I say, depending on who I'm talking to, if I'm saying security, I mean, we take everything seriously. But the trader success side, we're really passionate about this. So we've got a lot of really positive feedback from the community on that as well. And then the third thing is, you were just there, Blake. It was a scavenger hunt. So the New York City scavenger hunt where we gave away $20,000 cash to the winner of the scavenger hunt. And that was probably one of the cool, I was not there. I'm so jealous. I was home visiting my family, but I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures of you, Blake, with the team. It looked amazing. I missed out on a cool opportunity. But that was another thing that we did, and it was awesome.
Yeah, we actually ended up giving over $25,000 away in total to the traders, which I just was really basically amazed by that we were able to be that we're in a position where we can be so generous with the trading community and really support you guys with that whole aspect and make it so that everyone can become a winner in some way. And I'm so thankful for the huge turnout that we had as well. That was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed that. But overall, thank you so much, Matt, for coming on this interview. I'm sure we'll see you again.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, Blake.
We touched on so many great and important topics in this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and comments in the comments below, along with what do you guys think about Matt? What do you guys think about how transparent the Fund Trader is? I've now interviewed all the founders and Matt, the Chief Operating Officer with the Fund Trader, and I put it onto a playlist you guys can watch if you haven't already seen them. Check that playlist out right here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out that playlist if you haven't already seen it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.